Hi, hello, namaste, good morning to all. This is Dr. Kasigari Prasad, Associate Professor, Graphologist, Writer, and Motivational Speaker from the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Annamacharya Institute of Technology and Sciences, Rajampet, Kadapa District, Andhra Pradesh. In our previous class, we have discussed on electrostatic fields in material space, an introduction, how and what is the need of materials, how can we classify those materials as conductors and non-conductors. Those concepts we have discussed in our previous class. Today in this class we will have a discussion on convection and conduction currents. Convection and conduction currents. This is the second topic of second chapter, electrostatic fields in material space, from electromagnetic waves and transmission line subject. Let's go into the topic now. As we know that here we are going to discuss on convection and conduction currents. First and foremost, what is the need to understand these convection and conduction currents? In our electrical engineering, the two fundamental quantities are very essential. Those two fundamental quantities are electric voltage V, or we sometimes call as potential difference, and next one is current I. These two are the two fundamental quantities which help us in analyzing electrical engineering. So before examining the electrical fields, how it behaves in a conductor or dielectrics, it is important to consider the nature of that electric current. So what is the nature of the current which is prevailing in that particular medium, either it is a conductor or dielectric? That is the first and foremost thing we need to examine. In examining that, let us define what is electric current. Electric current is generally caused by the motion of electric charges. See, that's why I have dropped the dotted lines. It is due to the motion of electric charges. The current in amperes through a given area is the electric charge passing through the area per unit time. This is the another definition. See how much that means. The current, we take it in units, is amperes, moving through an area. Let us take an area, and the amount of current that is moving through that area is the electric charge that passing through that area per unit time. So how much amount of charge is passing through that area per unit time? In that way, if you define, then the current I is equal to, let us assume that there is a charge Q that is passing through a particular area per a particular time. So dq divided by t, that Q is time varying charge, accelerating and decelerating time varying charge. Therefore we have marked a bar on the top of that Q. Therefore I is equal to dq divided by dt, time varying charge per time. This is electric current definition. Next, thus ampere of current, charge is being transferred, the charge q is being transferred at a rate of 1 coulomb per second. It means in 1 amperes of current is there, then it means that a charge q is transferred at a rate of 1 coulomb per second. That is the meaning of 1 amperes of current. We know that the current density J is given with some relations. So when if current I flows through a surface, let us consider when if current I flows through a surface, I flows through a surface. Let us consider when if current I flows through a surface, Now let us define current density. See, we define electric current. Now we are going to define current density J. Now let us define current density J as follows. When if delta I current flows through a surface, the two delta S of surface. Okay. So delta I is the current that is flowing through a surface area, that is delta S is the surface area. Then the current density Jn, J suffix n, is equal to the current per surface. So the differential current per differential surface. Therefore delta I divided by delta S is the current. That equation is shown here. Okay. Then from that we can write delta I, differential current delta I is equal to Jn product of delta S. The above equation is considered when assuming that current density is perpendicular to the surface. When and only if the current density is supposed to be considered as perpendicular to the surface, at the time only this equation happens to be the satisfied one, holds good equation. Okay. If the current density is not normal to the surface, second condition, if the current density is not normal to the current surface, then the current density equation can be rewritten as, see, as we have seen just now, delta I is equal to Jn delta S. But if it is not normal to the surface, then delta I is equal to J dot delta S. It is a dot product of delta S. Thus the total current that is flowing through the surface is, you just want to integrate for the total length. Therefore I is equal to integral S J dot ds. So the total current that is flowing through the surface S is I is equal to integral S J dot ds is the equation. So from all these concepts we came to analyze three important outcomes. Depending on how the current is produced, there are three different kinds of current densities, namely convection current density, conduction current density and displacement current density. In this chapter, at this second chapter, we are not going to have a discussion on displacement current density. We will have a discussion on convection current density and conduction current densities in the coming topics. We know that the total current I is equal to integral S J dot ds, and this total current equation holds good for all kinds of current densities what we have discussed right now, either it is conduction current density, convection current density and even displacement current density. For all of those three categories, this equation holds good. And we also know the general equation for flux, electric flux equation, which we have studied from first chapter, psi is equal to integral S A dot ds. See, if you just compare these two equations, I is equal to integral S J dot ds, psi is equal to integral S A dot ds. On comparing these two equations, we can get a conclusion that it shows that the current through surface S is merely the flux of that current density. So the amount of a current that is moving through a surface is equal to the total amount of flux of that current density J is the meaning. So if I repeat, it shows that current through surface S is merely the flux of the current density J. So depending on that current flux density, the total current I can be estimated here. Now in order to analyze deeply about convection current density, let us see what is convection current. Naturally, convection current have some behaviors. So what are those properties? Means convection current does not involve conductors. They does not at all involve conductors. Convection current does not follow Ohm's law also. Convection currents occurs when do these currents occur, Nana? when current occurs when current flows through an insulating medium, when the current flows through an insulating medium such as liquid, rarefied gases or vacuum. Liquid, rarefied gases or vacuum. At the time these convection currents are going to occur. An example for this convection current is a beam of electrons in a vacuum tube is an example of convection current. Now to study more deeply about this convection current, let us see this particular diagram. To understand the concept of convection current, consider a filament in the following figure. It is a filament. Let us take a rectangular shaped box. Here we have split it into pieces having a differential length delta L, having a differential surface delta S, and the charge distribution moving here, it is rho v. It is shown on the right top. Delta S is the differential surface, and differential length here we have taken is delta L. And see that the charges are moving in this direction towards rightward direction with a velocity of u. With a velocity of u, it is shown in the right extreme right. So from this diagram we are going to now analyze how the current is going to be produced here. Let us consider a filament as shown in the figure just now I have shown. If there is a flow of charge of density, charge density is moving. As I have mentioned you already, how much charge density is moving? Rho v is the charge density moving at a velocity of u, as it is also shown in the diagram. Then we know that as per the current definition equation, I is equal to the very first electric current definition equation we have taken today in this class, first equation, I is equal to dq by dt. Therefore I is equal to dq by dt. Now according to the current through the filament, the amount of current that is moving through the filament, we can write delta I is equal to, here this delta I, how much amount of delta I current is moving here, that we are going to estimate from this filament now. From this filament, see how it has estimated. Delta I is equal to, for a particular length some charge is to move, no? So how much charge it is moving? Let us give delta q amount of charge is moving. Therefore delta q amount of charge moving per unit time. Therefore delta q divided by delta t is our first equation. See, just to see for the first term only, just to see only the first term, delta I is equal to delta q divided by delta q. And also we know as charge is moving and that charge is having some charge density, we have taken the charge density is rho v, and the charge density is moving for a particular surface area. How much surface area? Differential surface area we have taken as delta S. Therefore we can write it as rho v delta S, rho v delta S, and for a total length, how much differential length we have taken? It is for a differential length of delta L. Therefore delta L by delta t. See, we have just split that equation. The delta q we have split it as charge distribution rho v for a differential length of delta S moving for a length of delta L over a short time, that means for a unit time, that is delta t. Therefore rho v delta S delta L by delta t, that is the concept. So now this equation now can be rewritten as rho v delta S we have taken as it is, and delta L by delta t, it we have taken as velocity of that particular charge. So velocity, how much is the velocity we have taken? U is the velocity of that particular charge moving, and in which direction it is moving? It is moving in y direction. Therefore velocity we have here written here as uy, u suffix y is the velocity of that particular charge. So rho s delta s uy, where uy is the velocity of that particular charge. This is the simple understanding of that current from this particular filament diagram. Okay, now let us continue. The current at a given point is the current through a unit normal area at that point. This is the conclusion. The current at a given point is the current through a unit normal area at that point. So how much amount of current is passing through that normal area is the total current. So the y directed current density Jy is given as, now we are going to calculate current density Jy. Jy is equal to, current density is current per surface, differential surface. So differential current by differential surface, therefore delta I divided by delta S, that we have taken as delta I. How much charge density? Rho v is the charge density moving with the velocity of uy. We have taken just now, previously. Here see, rho v delta y, rho v uy, that equation we have taken here, rho v uy. Okay, hence in general the current density can be expressed as, generalized expression for current density, J is equal to rho v into u. We have taken it right from Ohm's law concepts there. Okay, J is equal to rho v into u. This current I is called as convection current and J is called convection current density, having units amperes per meter square. So this J is equal to rho v into u is the convection current and J is called convection current density, having units amperes per meter square. That's all about our convection current. Now let us discuss on conduction current. A conduction current requires a conductor. A conductor is characterized by a large number of free electrons that provides conduction current due to an impressed electric field. This is important. A conductor is characterized by a large number of free electrons that provides conduction current due to an impressed electric field. So some conduction current must happen here. Such type of material can be considered here as a conductor. Okay, now let us see. When an electric field E is applied, what is applied? Electric field E is applied. The force on an electron with charge minus E is given as, so over a charge E, electric field is applied, then that force F is equal to minus E into electric field capital E. We know this basic equation. F is equal to charge minus E, that means electron minus E, and produced electric field capital E. Since the electron is not in free space, it will not be accelerated under the influence of the electric field. As we are discussing now all the concepts in terms of material space. So since the electron is not in free space, it will not be accelerated under the influence of electric field. Rather it suffers, very important point, please keep in mind, rather it suffers constant collisions with the atomic lattice and drifts from one atom to another. So there will be another electron aside and it go and collide with that one, another electron aside and again it will go and collide with another one. Likewise collisions, constant collisions will happen and the atomic lattice and drifts from one atom to the another atom. This concept will take place. If electron with mass m is moving in an electric field capital E with an average drift velocity of u, then according to Newton's law, the average change in the momentum of free electron must match the applied force. The average change in the momentum of free electron must match the applied force. So we know this Newton's law concept. From that, m u by tau is equal to, as we have taken f is equal to mn, therefore we know f is equal to minus e into capital E, and that is equal to mass m. Acceleration means the velocity it is moving over a time tau. So mu by tau is equal to minus e into capital E. This is what the equation there. From that we can write u, velocity u is equal to minus e. From this we will write minus e capital E divided by m. Okay. where tau is the average time interval between the collisions. Where tau is the average time interval between the collisions. This indicates that the drift velocity of the electron is directly proportional to the applied force. As the force improves or increases, the velocity, drifting velocity will also increases. So this indicates that the drift velocity of the electron is directly proportional to the applied field. If there are n electrons per unit volume, then electronic charge density is given by, let us assume that there are n electrons per unit volume, then the electronic charge density is given by rho v is equal to, let us see n electrons, each electron is having a value of minus e. So rho v is equal to minus Ne. Thus the conduction current density is, now we are defining the conduction current density. Conduction current density is J is equal to rho v into U, that is equal to rho v into U, n e square tau by m into capital E. We are just substituting the values. We are just substituting what is rho v value here, U value here. Rho v is minus Ne, you substituted here minus Ne, and also you are substituting this U value. See, U is minus E tau by m into capital E, minus E tau by m into capital E. You substituted this value here. Therefore rho v into U is equal to n E square tau divided by m into capital E. Simply we write it as sigma E. All this term is considered as sigma, where sigma is equal to minus n E square tau by m is the conductivity of the conductor. So final derivation of this equation is J is equal to sigma E is the conduction, J is equal to sigma E is the conduction current density. This is the concepts of convection current and conduction current. Now let us read out the summary and the takeaways from this particular lecture. So we are able to know what is electric current, and electric current is generally caused by the motion of electric charges. We define what is current density, J is equal to Jn is equal to delta I by delta S. We also define the total amount of current through a particular surface is I is equal to integral S J dot ds. It shows that the current I through a surface S is merely the flux of the current density J. And also we define what is convection current and conduction current. Convection current does not involve conductors. Convection current does not follow Ohm's law. Conduction current requires a conductor. A conductor is characterized by a large number of free electrons that provides conduction current due to an impressed electric field. That's all about the concepts related to convection current and conduction current. All the very best. This is Dr. Kasagari Prasad sir, Associate Professor, Graphologist, Writer and Motivational Speaker. So you can follow me these electromagnetic waves and transmission lines lectures through YouTube in the name Kasagari Prasad. You can also watch my channel for inspiring talks, motivational talks, and so many insightful talks, inspirational talks regarding education, engineering and life skills. Thank you. Jai Hind.